Everybody, HZPC asked me to talk a little bit about what COVID has done to the savory snack markets. I will tell a little bit what it impacted our business, but I will also look a little bit at the overall impacted on the snacks market. As a starting point, I would like to ask you to put your microphones on mute. I think everybody has that. And the second thing is also, please, if there are questions, and I hope there are, please put them in the chat, and we will try to find some time to discuss them afterwards. So a small introduction, as mentioned already, my name is Maarten from Mensvoort. I'm Director of Agriculture at the Intersnack Group. And in that role, I'm responsible for potatoes, potato dehydrates, which would be starch, flake granules, and also the fresh vegetables we buy for our vegetable chips. If we look at the Intersnack Group, and I will give you a little bit more information about that later for people that are not aware of that. If we look at the three pillars we have under our business, that would be think responsible, acting entrepreneurial, and also growing together. And this growing together, of course, I think connects very nice with also the meeting from HZPC, Let's Connect, because working together and growing together is if we connect and if we work together. So I will also come back on that in the rest of my presentation, and you will see some more points about that. A short agenda. A little bit about the Intersnack Group, like I said, for people that don't know it. Okay, how did COVID impact the Intersnack Group? And then I'm mainly looking at the supply chains, and then also a little bit of information what we see in the fast-moving consumer goods market, where of course our snacks are a part of, and that after that we would have some time for questions. To be honest, the data I'm showing is mainly focused on the first wave we had in Europe. Yeah, so the second wave that is going on now is we don't have really data on that yet, but I think the first wave data gives us already an indication where it could go or where it's going now. Let's see. Works. Okay, some more people coming in. So a little bit about Intersnack, yeah, and what we say, we are a group is a European champion in the savory snacks market, and if you look at the card of Europe, you see that our footprint is covering most of Europe in that aspect. And we are also in all the red areas. We are really active in the market and having a sales position. If we look at what we are doing as Intersnack, we are active with a broad portfolio where we look at potato chips, specialties, which generally are products that are produced by extruders or in the extruding process. We also are a significant player in the nuts market, and also we have a part of the business where we are active in the baked products market. We are, if you look at the European market, also the only large snacks company in Europe that also has a significant non-branded product portfolio. We are the biggest snack nuts processor. And if you look at Europe, we are having something like more than 10,000 people employed, and we have factories around 15 countries. If we look strategically, we have strategic joint ventures with Grefusa in Spain that you also see on the map here with the striped lines, and also in Australia and New Zealand with Intersnack Oceania. If we look at what it means being a champion in the European market, then you should think about something slightly more than 600 tons of finished product that we sell in the European market. So that would be chips, specialties, nuts, and baked all together. HZPC told me that I was only allowed to show this slide shortly. So, but anyway, I would like to give you a view of the brands we have in the different countries. And I would also advise you that after when you had a long day today with HZPC, that maybe this evening you remind that you can enjoy a good evening and a beer with some of our nice snacks in the different countries where we're active. If we look at if we look at the year 2020, of course, COVID is a main player there. But if we look at our business, we also see some other things. Yeah, and I was wondering even if I had to put this slide in regarding Biden and Trump, but I think we're all watching our telephones and are seeing that it's still not clear who will win. And I think also we all agree that whoever wins, it will have an impact on the world economy, the world business, and in that aspect also affect us. Another, of course, quite a big macroeconomic thing is Brexit. As you have seen, we also are having some business in the UK, and also there, of course, currency differences and all other issues we can expect regarding this will have an impact on our business. If we come back to COVID, I think it was also mentioned already before today. Of course, COVID had quite an impact also on the potato market if we look a little bit more in detail. But on the other hand, also there in the potato, if we look a little bit closer to potatoes, we also see that there, again, this is a map from the Mars report from October, but it shows again, the map is red, it's blue, it's places it's too wet, places it's too dry, places it's too warm. So all this weather impacts, extremes, are more and more impacting our business, and especially as we are active all over Europe, there are always areas where it's, like I always say, it's always areas too wet or too dry in every year. And the next one, of course, is also one of the challenges we see this year, and I think we're all working hard with is the sprout control and the new chemicals and the new knowledge we have to pick up there to store our crops in a good area. But again, COVID, if you look at it, is one of the main drivers also in changing the habits of our consumers. If we look at the COVID impact on the Intersnack Group's supply chains, then I start looking at the nuts, and it's maybe not so clear to see, but I think what you see there is the world map with a lot of lines from nuts coming from America to Europe, from South America to Europe, from Asia to Europe, and so on. Of course, you can understand that in this first wave of COVID, this was our biggest challenge. We had two things there. One thing was we have a lead time of 4 or 5 weeks, which of course makes planning ahead very challenging. And the second was that we also saw, you could say, quite some panic buying in nuts. It looks like that everybody, beside toilet paper, also wanted to have some bags of nuts in there to be available for the hard times. To be honest, and again, it's also coming back to the working together. Let's connect, working together with our partners, suppliers, working with transport companies. We managed to keep the streams going, and we also even managed to increase also our stocks, so that after a certain time we were able to relax a little bit again, because we would have more stock available in Europe. Even in some areas, we even had a change of the season, which is always a tricky one, but also we managed to cover that successfully. The sunflower oil, it's of course more a European thing, but there also to reason of quality, we try to have limited stocks at our factories. So what we saw there was a certain time in the first wave that borders were closed, and that was creating quite some problems, because, like I said, we have limited stock at the factories, and trucks stuck at borders, not able to being able to get there in time. So at certain times we would have 2 trucks on the road, hoping that one would make it, and then readjust the scheduling for the next day again if both would make it. So there was quite some pressure and challenge on that also, due to border closes and logistic issues. If we look at the packaging part of our business, you have seen all the brands, so you can imagine that we're talking about some packaging there. The biggest challenge there was that we saw quite some difference in the different channels where we're producing for. So we saw significant increase in the demand of, for example, multi-packs, where of course you need another packaging than if you have a single pack. So also there, working together with the suppliers, pushing transport times, and also adjusting planning as quick as possible, we managed to keep the business running. As last one, potatoes. I was allowed to show the Intersnack brand, so HZPC also asked me then to put their brands. As you are aware, we are using these brands also, and to be honest, there are good varieties. But if we look at the potato chain in our business, the impact by COVID was sorry, I'm letting some people to, was limited, because our production is local, relatively close to the factories, and that helped us also, of course, to keep the business running in a good shape. Like I said, a few slides from Nielsen on what we see in the fast-moving consumer goods market. Yeah, here we see an overview of the development over again, like I said, I would say the first wave. What we see, of course, is that the beginning is a little bit different, because Easter is falling in 2 different weeks. But what we see overall, of course, is quite an impact in the beginning, panic buying, or however you may call it, and it's currently at the end. It seems to be flattening off a little bit, and I think that's also that we saw in the period afterwards till now, when we maybe see the second wave. Also, you quite clearly see that there is no clear picture. All countries react differently, most probably due to different lockdowns, but maybe also due to different impacts of tourism or whatever. If we look at the change in the challenge, the channels, of course, we see, if you look at the graph, it's not so clear, but if the graph, the red line would be online sales increasing with above 50%, most probably in these years. The bluer part would be the supermarket, hypermarkets that are increasing with 5-10%, and then the drugstores, kiosks, petrol ones would be reducing slightly with maybe 5%. And that's, of course, and it also has been mentioned already earlier this morning, is that you see we see quite a plus in the in-home consumption, and of course on the go, but especially out of home, is significantly reduced. And unfortunately, it looks like it will also be impacted again in the new lockdowns we have in the different countries. But if we look at the different categories, they're not all impacted so much. And again, we're only looking here at the fast-moving consumer goods. So in principle, the out-of-home area would be not included here. So if we look at, for example, if you look at the big winners here, it would be alcoholic beverages, also the frozen food. But again, I think also, and Heineken came out this week with their figures, their performance is not so good, because also their importance in the out-of-home part of sales is significant, of course. So they're doing very good here, but it's not covering the out-of-home loss in out-of-home. If we look at the confectionery and snacks, of course, what we are looking at mainly, we are seeing a growth of almost 5%. This is then sweets and the savory snacks. I would say that in our data, if you look a little bit deeper in it, most probably the savory snacks is outperforming the confectionery snacks a little bit. Of course, we in our business also are impacted by the on-the-go reduction in on-the-go sales, out-of-home sales, but the impact is not so big of that. And another interesting thing, I think, is what if you look at where the reductions are, then it's in the look good category, so less social life, and also in the healthcare, where plasters, food care, and so on are reduced significantly. Coming back to a short summary, because else I think we're going over time. Here you see an overview of all the points that are impacted. So stay at home, we discussed that. These channel changes, we also mentioned that. Another thing we see is, of course, that also the buyers, they go less often to the shop, but they buy more per trip. We don't immediately think that is good for us, because snacks, of course, of savory snacks is an impulse product. People generally don't put it on a shopping list, but if they see it, they buy it. But I think maybe people also will feel ashamed to come out of a shop with 5 bags of snacks. So also there, it would be interesting to see how that developed over the coming period. Online shopping, we also saw that in the graphs. Increased grocery prices, less promotion, and a last one, what we also see coming more and more, and expect also to come more and more, when also the economical impact of the whole COVID situation will be more feasible is that there will be a pressure on the prices of our products for the coming period. That was it. I